back with another episode of What's Hockey. Keaton, we're down to our final four teams in the NHL playoffs. We're going to go through that in just a bit, but we got to go around that hockey. Keaton, we have some news over this past week.
Not a lot of news, but we do have Don Sweeney getting re-signed to the Boston Bruins as a, somewhat of a questionable chain of events, I guess, because they were selling at the trade deadline. They missed the playoffs for the first time since I think he was hired. Kind of interesting, I guess, so to speak, but it's only a 2-year deal, so they're just kind of seeing what he's going to pull out of his ass. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know they went to the finals in 2019, but the last few years, not much success, and in particular,
they made the playoffs each year. Not a lot of teams can say that, though.
Half the teams in the league make the playoffs every year.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, you saw the Kings win in.
They're not the same teams.
All right. The Kings.
It's the same team for 9 straight, just like the Maple Leafs,
Yeah.
Classic.
Well, it's not common where teams tank at the deadline, and in particular with a GM who has been there for an extended period without recent success. It's not common to see that GM extended, so it is, I would say, surprising.
Uncommon.
It is uncommon, for sure. I didn't mean to, repeat myself right there, but rare is a nice word. I wouldn't say unheard of, but it's definitely rare. Anyway, point being, Boston tanked at the deadline. Their dude ain't done anything in recent time. They traded
he's gotten a few players.
Of their good players. Well, they traded at the deadline.
His tenure, he's got Pasternak, he's got Marchand, he's got a lot of other players.
Well, Marchand's not there, so he doesn't have him.
Not anymore.
Okay, so what does it matter if you had him in the past?
It's just, he's the GM. He brought him in, and he's like, all right, he's not doing anything, so let's get him out.
Boy, that makes no sense. Also, isn't Brad Marchand didn't he get to Boston way before that guy? He got to Boston in 2006. That guy got there in 2015. That's a 9-year difference. He beat him by 9 years.
Yeah, but anyway, he's got some players in his scouting regime, I assume.
Boy,
just because.
Also Pasta was drafted the year before he got there too, so he had nothing to do with Pasta
just taking
or
credit
Marchand.
for whatever it is.
Yeah,
he's pretty good, dude.
No,
but who knows?
I guess they also traded away Swayman at the beginning of this season. Or when was that deal done?
They didn't trade away Swayman. They traded away Olmark. They still have Swayman.
I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah,
Olmark, but to be fair, you don't really need both.
No, I get it, especially when they're two.
Especially they could both start, caliber. So it doesn't really matter, and they both want to start. So kind of adds to it, but it does suck for the players because I know they were lovers or whatever, best friends.
Lovers, Jesus Christ! It just seems like such a horrible build they have right now. Your best player is 29, or Pasta's maybe 28. But yeah, you gave away every other piece around him. I forgot how many of your players went to the Avalanche, but
we got some draft picks out of it,
Yep. All right, well, that's an interesting one.
I don't think. I hope the Bruins suck for the long time. Yeah, that'd be great.
I think they're set up very
might as well
to suck.
They got rid of. I think they did get rid of Sacco, didn't they, or did they replace
Sacco?
Yeah, Joe Sacco. Or did he?
Joe Sakic.
I'm pretty sure he's the one that replaced Jim Montgomery, but he sucks, dude. He should get the sack.
He should definitely get the sack.
Joe Sacco.
I should have had it pulled up. My B-dog.
You don't know anything about Joe Sacco.
Anyway, Boston, big veto on that whole organization. Keaton, I believe that's the only around that hockey story we had, do you want to jump into some playoffs?
Yeah, we might as well.
Right. We might as well. As I said in the intro, there are only 4 teams left, and that's because since we last recorded, 3 series.
We even got a rematch of last year, which is kind of bland, if I'm being honest.
Sorry?
A rematch of last year's Western Conference final.
Yeah, my headphones kind of jacked up right there. Yeah, and I think as far as Florida's looking at it, knowing that you have no injury issues right now, and your team is stronger, and you saw how Seth Jones finished off that last series, which you love to see if you're a Florida Panther fan.
The Canes have been playing just as well. I mean, if I'm being honest, so it'll be a pretty good series. A lot of people like the Canes in this one for whatever reason. I do still like the Panthers to beat them out, but I don't know, man. It should be a lot more close than you might think.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. I had it pulled up and I lost it since. But essentially I had...
Because the Canes dominated the Caps.
Yeah.
In the series.
I had each team's stats throughout the playoffs pulled up. Oh, here we go. So as far as goals allowed per game, and of course it can vary with, who each team had in the first round. But the Canes allowed the least amount of goals per game throughout the playoffs thus far.
Anderson's a great goalie, so...
Yeah, and so Panthers are second, allowing 0.6 more per game, which is kind of a pretty big leap right there. But that being said, I do think it is set up to be more of a defensive matchup than I think offensively.
Physical. They're all going to be hitting.
100%.
Check your hits bets. They might be hitting. So
for sure. And look, you look at their penalty kill. Carolina #1 teams in the playoffs. Panthers 2, Stars 3. But there is a jump. Stars at 86. Let me see. Florida 89, and then Carolina 93. I just think that defensively, both of these teams, everyone knows just how talented they are and how good they are. I don't think defensively they get enough credit. And like you mentioned, with the physicality, the hits that are expected, it's going to be quite a contested, tightly scored series. I think there's going to be a lot of low-scoring games where I feel like most people would imagine it'd be high-scoring. Whereas I think like the Dallas and Edmonton series, I think that one's more likely to be a higher-scoring affair between the two teams.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Most definitely. I was just gonna agree with you because you stopped talking.
No, yeah, my fault. I was trying to pull up some stats
nice.
So Picard, he's not expected to get back
Pickard.
till they have Pickard, sorry. They have him expected to get back.
Unfortunately, he's not French.
He is okay. Anyway, so yeah, he's out to start the series. Matthias Ekholm for Edmonton is also going to miss the first 2 games of the series at least. He's been out for a while, but he's a guy who averages. He gets you 20 minutes on defensive night.
He's pretty solid.
Yeah, solid, reliable player. So that's going to be a tough loss for the first 2 games, but he hasn't been there all playoffs, so whenever he finally shows around, it's just going to be a bonus for Edmonton. I keep giving you all these defensive stats.
Boost.
Yeah. I keep giving you these defensive stats with Carolina, with Florida, with Dallas. Edmonton's defensive stats are not as high, but their goals for per game, it's the highest of any team remaining in the playoffs. Of course, playing the Kings has a little bit to do with that. Because the Kings just bleed goals for fun. But yeah, I think I don't see what happened last year, Edmonton getting by Dallas. I don't see that happening again this year. I think Dallas has improved with Ranson. I think Otter is hitting his stride.
I feel like both teams are a lot better than they were last year, though.
I think that's fair. I think Edmonton's additions like Wallman were they've paid off for sure. I think I do think Dallas, with Robertson coming back, Haskinen's back, we're not really injured right now, and I don't know that we're banged up. I'm sure there are players playing through injuries that I'm just not aware of right now. But I just don't see
good old undisclosed.
The good old undisclosed. I just don't see that series playing out the same as last year. While on the other side of the bracket, I do foresee the Panthers getting by like they did last year. I don't know. What do you foresee as far as these two conference championships?
I mean, as far as the Eastern side, like you mentioned, I do expect the Panthers to squeak by, but it's going to be a lot more hard fought. And I honestly think that their experience going to the finals the past couple of years have, you know, they're the sure win team, I guess. I don't know. But Canes, they're definitely a solid team. So I expect that to go to 7, if not maybe 6. But should be a hard fought series. And then on the other side, I don't know, man. I honestly feel like a little nervous for Dallas to win the series just because it kind of just feels like I don't know. The Oilers just squeak in for whatever reason. It's like they have those woes and everything's just, you can pinpoint every single mistake that they make and, say, oh, this is what is wrong with this team, blah, 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 and they just somehow win. So, I don't know. It could be a lot more of a close series than you might think as well.
I think that's fair. Yeah, honestly, there have been spells in the last 2 series of Stars games where in the middle of the second period, we started a game slow, we will go with a 10 to 12 minute drought without getting a shot on goal, or if we do, sometimes it's a trash shot on goal. I know against Winnipeg, I don't think it was the legit last. Well, I know it wasn't because it was a Scheifele penalty that led to a goal. But there was a power play in that game, the last Stars game, where we didn't get a single shot on goal. And so the Stars can kill themselves, absolutely. We've had multiple games where defensively we're not getting in front of pucks, and we can kind of be bullied a little bit in front of Ottinger as far as like screening and keeping his vision clear. So as confident as I am that the Stars will get through, or at least have a much better shot than they did last season, I absolutely, to be completely fair to Edmonton, yeah, there's a path for them to not just win a few games, but win the whole series and go on to the Stanley Cup Finals again. I don't know, man. I don't want to be too wishy-washy. Like I said, and I will reiterate, I do believe Stars get through. But yeah, if you're being objective and you've seen what Edmonton's done, not just this year, but last year in the playoffs, the way that they can defensively shut down the power play, which they did last year in crucial moments. We couldn't do anything in special teams. I didn't mean to seem so overly confident that the Stars will get by them. Edmonton is going to be a tough series, man. I guess I've gained confidence from the Colorado series and the Winnipeg series to where I think Edmonton just doesn't seem like as built of a team. That being said, I mean, their stars are, second to none. So it's going to be tough, man, for sure.
Yeah.
My fault. I was kind of rambling there. But we can go ahead and bleed that into some pick'ems because, Keaton, last week you went ahead and followed my lead, copied me. I went with a good old 1-2 record. You followed suit, just to make me feel a little better. So I appreciate you for that. But going straight from that Oilers and Stars talk, let's go to the game tomorrow. The spread in that one in Dallas is Stars -1.5. Who are you taking there?
It's going to be an interesting game, but I think the Stars manage it and get the win in home ice because honestly, they have to travel over here, and Edmonton kind of just sucks. So maybe they'll be distracted from everything that Dallas has to offer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you there. I'm gonna go with Stars -1.5 at home. I think as long as we're not in our own way, we should absolutely take care of business. And then the other game, which is tonight, actually, the Panthers are traveling to Carolina to take on the Hurricanes, where the spread in that one is Carolina -1.5. Who are you taking there?
I'm going to roll with the Panthers, and even if they lose, they're probably going to make up that 1.5 point.
Florida Panthers +1.5. I too like that. I don't understand why the Panthers have been given so many +1.5.
It's just
spreads.
the home ice spreads in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure, just because, I don't know. It's playoffs, you're a good team anyway. You're at home. You're expected to win, so to speak. I don't know.
I suppose. But yeah, so we're both going Stars, both going Florida. No ground to be gained. Not that I could make a full comeback anyway.
Nice,
so
dude.
whatever. Anyway, let's slide on over to our prize pick segment. Keaton, last week, both of my or was it a 2-man or a 3? It was a 3-man, and I believe it was Wyatt Johnson.
I don't even know.
I believe it was a 3-man, and I believe it was Wyatt Johnson who came up a point shy of what I needed to get paid. But that's all right. We're going to go ahead and make it up right now. Today's line, we're going with Nico Mikkola to get over half shots blocked, so one at least. Evander Kane to get over 4.5 hits against Dallas tomorrow. I can 100% see that occurring. Leon Draisaitl. It's possible. Leon Draisaitl to get over half a point. So give me at least one tomorrow for
I don't think it's 100% if you.
And also Wyatt Johnson to get over 1.5 shots on goal to round out our first ever 4-man lineup. Boom.
Not going to work.
What you got?
So I came in hella strong with my third win of the in a row, I guess. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Terrible phrasing, but third win in a row. We've got Brandon Duham and William Carrier coming in with the hits. They both had at least 5. For sure covered their 3.5 overs. So gonna roll with a couple of nice picks tonight in the Florida Carolina game. I've got Sam Bennett with 4.5 hits. He's going to get more than that. And Sean Walker with more than 1.5 block shots. He'll probably get 2. So, yeah, we'll see these guys come through and be 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah. We'll see if you can pull that off. No, honestly, I hope you do. That website's been stealing my money, and we got to get something back on them.
Awesome.
But anyway, Keaton, I believe that's all for this episode of Quickie. Not too many games being played, not too much new news. But is there anything I'm forgetting?
No, I don't believe so. Hopefully we'll see some nice off-season signings, because Mitch Marner is an unrestricted free agent come off-season, so we'll see what happens to that dude. And much more other players, as I assume he's not the only one. But we'll catch in next time, and hopefully we'll see these series come to a close.
Yep, absolutely. Well, hey, y'all take it easy. Peace out.